Post time. Okay, everybody. Today we have just a really quick message we want to get to you, and part of this has to deal with parents. Now, parents, we've discussed, I know it's not easy being a parent in today's day and age, but one of the things that you need to get ready for is if the schools are going to be having zero tolerance policies, well then you need to have some zero tolerance for them as well. And here's what we mean by this. It means that you have to remember that the schools, and there's a disciplinary procedure that comes up. The schools are, for all intents and purposes, just another arm of the state. And in many cases, your child may be accused of something that could turn around and be a criminal case. In which case, it's very important for you to teach your children now that in the event they are in trouble at school, it is very important for them to know that they should not say a word to any of the administrators about what's going on until they've spoken to you. This is a right you have. Now, if there's a criminal element, they also have a right to a lawyer, obviously. But the number one thing is that they should be talking to you first. And here's what you need to remember. Many of these administrators are, particularly at schools where they're bringing in school resource officers, and that's strictly important too. If they're bringing in school resource officers, then you need to make sure that your child never makes a statement, even more so. Now, as we were saying with administrators, the same thing. Until your parent arrives, your child needs to be able to tell them, I'm not saying a word without my parents. And if it takes all day for them to get there, then do so. Because you have to remember, what they're going to do when they talk to your kid is the same thing police officers do. They're going to isolate them. They're going to go ahead and threaten them in a variety of ways, such as, you're going to tell us what's going on, or else it's going to be a whole lot of trouble. I want to know what's happening. Look, the administrator has to be there all day. So who cares? Your kid is already out of class. Things aren't about to get better. Don't yield. So teach your children now what they need to do to protect themselves as they go further. Now, we're going to talk a little bit more about this in some of our later videos, including talking about the Reid technique. It's a technique that's used by interrogation by police officers, but it's also increasingly being used at schools. So you need to be ready to protect yourself, protect your children, and make sure that they are not walking into a trap. All right? In the meantime, see you later.